Hello, this is Jules from VR Tracker, today to tell you about the devlog number 3 and to give you a lot more explanation on what are those devlog about, what we're trying to do here. So first, the concept behind those devlogs is that we are doing some research and development in virtual reality games. So try to find new mechanics, new way to interact in VR, and how to make it fun. So VR Tracker is, as you might know, really interested in multiplayer games because we developed that tracking technology to enable multiplayer because we believe that in VR, as in real life, any experience is better when you can share it with other people. So in those devlog, what you'll see are multiplayer concept mostly. Yeah, what I'm going to talk to you about today is a concept that has been developed by a team of engineering students in Polytechnic Montreal that has been developing a specific mechanic for us and is going to continue prototyping some. So let me just show you what they just gave us after a few weeks of development. So it is made to be multiplayer, but I'm just alone here at the moment, so I'm just going to give you a look at a single player game. So very simply, what we had decided when we gave this project to the students is that they didn't have any asset they could use. They could only use 3D models from Unity, basically. So meaning squares, cubes, sphere, stuff like that. So to be as basic as possible, because what we wanted to focus on was on the mechanic. Try to see if the game mechanic is good, and then if it is good, we could implement a nice environment around it and add more features. But first, we really wanted to validate a basic mechanic. So still they did. They added those nice ends. They have this really cool canvas. I really like that. So what happens in this game is that you're going to see when I press A, it's going to start. We're supposed to have other players, up to 4 players total in each corner. And when I'm going to press A, so this prototype is called column, because there are some columns from the floor that are going to appear around you. And the goal is that in a limited period of time, here it's about 60 seconds, you have to touch as many columns as possible. So let me just press on A, and you can see, so I have those columns. So the floors is not right now, but I can just hit them and I have to move quickly to get as many as possible. I'm just gonna stop the music. Okay, so I guess you understood the concept. It is very simple. The goal is that you play against the other players. You try to be as fast as possible to get the highest score. So it's really competitive game, and what we thought when just thinking about the concept is that what would be cool is to have something like you would find on console like the Wii from Nintendo or from the Switch. This experience that you're going to do plenty of mini games, but you are going to do them together and you are going to compete against each other. But the games have to be short, so like 1 to 2 minutes game, and be able to go to another game if you don't like it, come back to it, and have a diversity of games and mechanics. So that was really the goal and the thoughts behind that, and you will see that it is the same goals behind the upcoming prototypes that I will show you in the upcoming devlogs. So what I did over the weekend is that I took this project and I imported an environment. So I took this environment. It is from the asset store. It's called the studio is called Polygon, I think. So it is Polygon, the iced environment, the iced pack from Polygon, and it's really nice. They really have some great assets, and I am not a designer at all. Nobody is actually in the team, so we often use those kind of assets from the asset store. Those one are really nice. One thing I should mention is that game, the way it is designed and the way the environment is, It's normal that we're looking for low poly because the goal is to target VR headset like the Oculus Quest. So VR headset that cannot run very high-end graphics, but that will still have two controllers, 6DoF controllers and a 6DoF headset, so you can really move around freely. And especially with a headset like the Quest, you won't have a wire or anything that will get in the way. So no cable, and that is going to be great. So this is why we are using a low poly environment here, because at least we are sure that it is going to run on the Oculus Quest. So what can I tell you about this environment? Well, it is very basic. As you can see, it's really just a square. It's like you're inside a bank, and the goal is going to be you have to catch as much money as possible before the timer ends. So I really didn't know how to use the column concept, that how to exploit the fact that you had stuff going out from the floor, or to make it normal. I have no idea actually how to do that in an environment. This is, of course, not the best, but after that I've been watching a few videos from games like Mario Party and stuff like that, and it showed me that you don't really have to give a reason behind everything, because you have some crazy games out there and they don't need to justify everything that happens. So I thought that the heist concept could be really nice. You could do some nice stuff like just grabbing monies, but also different things. So let me show you a quick scene I've done just right there to show you. So you have that pillar right there, and on top of it you can have the goal is that you would be able to have different type of objects. So it could be a bomb, but basically the most often you should have money on it, so you will gain money. But for example, later in the what I thought that could be nice is, for example, imagine that you actually grab the handcuff. That would mean that you would have, for example, maybe the two ends that would have to stay together for a few seconds. So you would have like to move your hands together to be able to touch all the pillars and grab more monies, and it will make the game a bit more difficult. But there could be many different objects that you could grab that could give you bonus or malus to your players or to the surrounding players. And that is really cool to do, because that's what creates actually the interaction with the other player. Because what we discovered at the end of the basic demo is that there is not really any interaction with the other players. So it could be great to have something that can impact the other players. An example I always like to use is Mario Kart. So you will play actually just yourself, but you have some little interaction with the other players from the magic cubes, the cubes that you can get, and that will give you items. So that's the way that reminds you that you are not playing alone, and this is very important. So let me just change the. Oh yeah, no. What I wanted to show you in that scene is two things. So first, I've done something is that I've added that kind of glowing shader around the pillar. The reason for that is that once I had created the environment in the heist and the pillar appeared, you did not understood or knew that this is what you had to touch, because it seemed normal in the scene. Actually, it seemed normal that the pillar would be there. So you didn't knew that this is what you had to interact with. So this is supposed to tell you that there is something to do with that. As soon as you put something with a different color, the fact that it moves too, it attracts your attention and shows you that there is something to do with it. The other thing that I've done is adding players. So adding a body to the player makes some visual for the other players. So basically, I've added a character like that. Let me just disable the local player. Okay, it's all right. So I've added some kinematics using VR IK. So you can see the kinematics works really well, and it's really easy to implement actually. What I've been using is this great asset called Final IK from Root Motion. So this is really great. It works perfectly in VR if you need to move, and it really does all the job you want. It's super easy to use actually. All I had to do pretty much is that on my player body I added the script VRRK. It automatically looked for all the reference on my character to be able to move them later using the kinematic equations. And then all I had to do was actually link the targets. So those are the objects where the position is. So the head position, the left arm controller, and the right controller. And that was pretty much it. You can adjust a lot of settings then, but it worked pretty much out of the box. So that's all I wanted to show you there, and then I can just give you, if you want, a quick demo of the game just like that, with there's one player. So here is the new environment, just there. Okay, so there is the new environment. I could actually make it bigger there. Alright, so I still need to disable the scoreboard that is on the top, that is appearing weirdly. Something I have changed, okay, so I'll just press A and it will start. Something that I have changed that we have seen is that the problem with the scoreboard, it used to be in the middle of the room on the top, and the thing is that game is asks you to be fast. You have to be quick in the game, so you really don't take any time to look at the scoreboard, because you know you're going to lose time if you try to look where you are in the scoreboard. So what I've done is that I've added currently just a text on the ends, because we figured out that what you look the most at are your ends in this game, because you have to touch the pillars with your ends. So I've put not the score but the position in the scoreboard on your ends. Sorry. So let's just get started with that. So there still is some. So you can see that I am the first because I'm the only one playing actually, but I can really quickly. Oops. So currently I'm just getting some money. The what's on the pillar doesn't change anything. We still have to change some stuff in the. I don't know if you saw when I lose the tracking. I'm using the Oculus right now. When I lose the tracking, the position goes to 0. We just have to fix that to stop making it just annoying like that. But that's pretty much it. In the next DevLog, I will show you a demo in multiplayer and maybe some improvements that I've brought. But I hope you liked this video, and don't hesitate to give me some comment and some insight and ideas on how we could make this game better. Have a great day. Cheers!